the inclusivity of the diversity of civilizations, of cultures and experiences. We've just entered this new era, a chaotic quantum moment at the intersection of the Anthropocene, the fourth and the fifth industrial revolutions. When we choose, and when we recognize and we choose to take responsibility for the impact that humans have had and continue to have on the environment, on the planet and beyond. When the worlds in which we in the developed world operate are also virtual. When we're applying, embedding and ingesting technologies onto or into our skin and bodies in the quest to augment our intelligence and to become cyborgs. We're also in a time when value is questioned and repackaged as bytes, lights and lines of code. But as humans, we're always looking for something bigger than ourselves to help us to connect with ourselves, with our environment and with other, and usually through the use of some form of technology, to help us solve problems with an almost ritualistic, religious-like behavior in data and algorithms we trust. But technology is merely a tool, and none of this behavior is new. And so we must remember that we are human first, and we should not remove ourselves from our responsibilities to ourselves, to each other, and to the planet. So I choose another way of seeing and being. And so I start with the words of Sojourner Truth, African-American abolitionist and women's rights activist, who asked, "Ain't I a woman?" Because we are more than the slaves, the servants, the nannies, the nursemaids, the mothers, the sisters, the daughters, the aunts, the wives, here to be defined and valued in relation to someone else. We are women, together in whatever form we take, because there's no one answer to what it means to be a woman. Should there be? Society has led us to believe that the measure of our success, our value, is in our anatomy, in whether or not we've given birth, in the size of our breasts, our lips, our hips, our arses, in the look, size and shape of our vulvas, because of course we should all have one, right? In what we choose to wear or not, in what we choose to do with our bodies, and who, and how many we consent to fuck, in our purity and our chasteness, because holy deity forbid we choose to be ethical sluts, sex workers, or shun monogamy for something else in which we feel that we have finally found our voices to express our wants, needs and desires. We're told that our value is in our educational attainment or economic wealth, and our ability to lean in and smash glass ceilings, ignoring the fact that we have to be privileged enough to even recognize and acknowledge that that ceiling exists, whilst not becoming too uppity about it. To know and remain in our place, especially if you're a woman who's further been othered. We're told that our value lies in the shade and the colour of our skin, in the texture and length of our hair. We can be feminist, but not too feminist, or woke. And somehow our value is supposed to lie in our ability to meet some predetermined markers of femininity, all pitching us against our sister woman, against the other. Especially those whose lives and experiences don't quite fit into our bubbles or our echo chambers, giving us kind of permission to other the other, whilst using the words of Maya Angelou as our mantra, proclaiming, "And still I rise." But there's nothing ironic about that, right? We're told that we're in an age where knowledge and data are the new power, but so is wisdom. So let us not forget the value of wisdom of the other. I recall the power and the wisdom of those ancestral women who came before me, for their stories are my story. Let us merge ancient wisdom with new thinking to solve problems for current and future humans, for current and future women. Let us use the tools and technologies that we have, and those that have been forgotten or ignored, to create spaces where we can actively seek out the wisdom of our ancestors and those women whose lives do not reflect our current and immediate realities. Let not our differences divide us, but unite us, because their stories are our stories. Let us seek out the wisdom of those women who, like the poet Audre Lorde, celebrated the erotic as power. Let us learn from our deepest and non-rational knowledge and celebrate the assertion of the life force of women, our joy, our creative, our sensual energy, our power. For these things are not taboo when you experience them, and no one can erase the knowledge of our experiences. Let us not diminish or suppress the realities and stories of other women. And when we talk of lovers, let's start with ourselves, our sisterhood, our tribe, because we are women. Let us gather together in trust, transparency, and partnership around the fires, real or digital, and harness that collective intelligence of one